Okay, so I'm going to attempt, and I didn't go back and watch it because I didn't feel like it, but I'm going to attempt to put the link in the description and the timestamp of the last reading we did. I was in the live stream and I did Donald Trump's April and Mike Pence's April. I think I did it around the 5-hour mark. We went for 7 hours that day. And so I'll try to link the timestamp, if I remember, in the description. And there was some heartbreak in Mike Pence's reading next month, or some separation. There was an unfinished project that caused Donald to walk away in April in his reading. Now, of course, you know, all those who were hoping and wishing and waiting was like, impeachment. Donald Trump, Queen of Swords, flopped out. So everybody's like, yeah, that's impeachment because he's walking away from the presidency. I'm like, well, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the wall. Because his wall is still on the table. And it's about to be pushed off the table. So, let's see. Your April 2019, Donald Trump. What do we have for you? What do we have for you? First up, the Knight of Swords as a proposal. Knight in Shining Armor card. Starts off okay. Four of Cups. There is an offer. So someone is offering you something. Usually, this is not something you necessarily want. But there it is. It's an uphill battle, so April is going to be full of more stress and worry. There is a waiting on something. It's waiting on money. There's some money coming in for you that you are waiting for. I don't know exactly what that is, but, you know, whatever. We have the Nine of Wands, the uphill battle. The wishful thinking. Sometimes this is greed. Wishes. There's a desire to be built forward tough. You want to be able to stand in the face of adversity and win. David and Goliath type of win. We shall see. The Knight of Wands. So with the Seven of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands, you have a waiting on money. There it is. Knight of Wands brings action. It brings new money, new house, new job, new something like, well, new job, which brings the money. But, so there's whatever you're waiting on, here it comes. In your fear is Robert Mueller, naturally. In your hopes is the government. You hope that it will save you. In your environment, the Ten of Wands. People are still behind you, especially on the Republican side. However, in the background, the Wheel of Fortune. There's a natural turn of events that is taking place. This could possibly also be good luck. Page of Wands. There's some news, but this is your word of warning. So whatever this news is, beware. That's why you got this. It's an uphill battle for all of April. Your word of comfort is you will be able to balance in the midst of chaos because you do have a team. Your environment was the Ten of Cups. That's the happy home. So people are behind you. But there's a preparation to do something else. Are they also behind you for that? Okay. Let's see what else we get. Let's see. Page of Pentacles. Money is still coming to you. There's a news of it. Yeah. Knight of Pentacles. Two of Swords. There is an indecision, and there is even more money. The Eight of Swords. Now, if I was just to read this, it looks as though, let me go back into here. What did that say? Because let's read these in conjunction here. So there's a plan that you're working on with the Two of Wands, right? Not Ace of Wands, the Knight of Wands is also action, but it's movement. It's also travel, but it's a movement. It's a new start to something. Seven of Pentacles is a harvest card. There's something staring me in the face here. Because the reason I'm going back into that is if you look at this, the Knight of Wands is about money coming to you, like it's on the way now. The Two of Swords is about a stalemate. It's an indecision. We're sort of at a deadlock sometimes as well. What do we do now? Here's the money. What do we do? Okay, here is the proposal or an offer of money, possibly a new venture, a new plan of some sort, but there is a hitch in the road. You or your money is now captive by something else. So although you start with the news of money, and this is not necessarily news as in good news, it's just news because reminding you that your card, your word of warning is news. That in which you're going to hear, okay, there you go. That's what makes sense. That in which you're going to hear about, like I said, it's coming to you. Whatever that is coming to you. Whatever you're waiting for, because this is the patience card, the watering card, the harvest card, whatever you're waiting for, there is news about it, but your word of warning was also news. The news now indicates money, because this is where we are now. So, whatever you plan to do with that money that's coming in is now being frozen. So that's what your April is going to involve. Some sort of freezing of the asset of whatever this new thing is. There is a new plan under the Knight of Pentacles. Under the one that says, here comes the money, there's the action. Because reminding you what your outcome card was, the Two of Wands. Under the indecision is the White House card. Under the Ace of Pentacles. Well, because the Ace of Pentacles is that money offer, like, hey, do this with that money. It could be something legal around it, or it could just be a balance. Won't be so pessimistic. It could be a balance. Under the Captain, yeah, it is about freezing assets of some sort. It's either freezing assets or looking into them, because this is a powerless, so you can't do anything about this. Whatever this money is, because it's the Three of Pentacles is usually like the dark money or the secret money or whatever you worked on together with someone, it's that money. And there's your Eight of Swords indicating that this money may not flow into you the way you expect it. Under the Ace, your action is walking away. So that walking away may have been from this, whatever this plan was, and not necessarily him resigning, but not necessarily not that. So here is that walking away card. Because also, mind you, when I do my zodiac readings, I read across and then up and down. Because it's so many people under one sign that, you know, you need more than one message. So if we read these across, there is an action in the White House. There's some justice. And then dark money. So, abandonment. Disappointment under the White House. Across from the abandonment. I swear, I am not sleepy, but I have yawned 6 times in this one reading, I swear. Under the Justice is the Sun. Right next to the Disappointment. Odd card to get. So let's see what's next to that. The Family Wealth. Because there's walking away and sorrow, but then there is the Sun in the middle of all of that ugliness. Like, why would you be there? Mind you, the Sun is not just about joy and confirmation and good health and healing, and it could also be illumination and confirmation. Like, if you want a yes card, this is your yes card. Or my yes card. So there's a walking away, a sense of abandonment and leaving it behind, leaving it unfinished. There is a feeling of a sort of a way about that. Confirmation that this is indeed happening. Okay, I had to look at that for a second. I'm like, is she whittling her own hair? Ain't that what it looked like? Anyway. So then there's the family wealth after the confirmation. Under the abandonment, there is some clarity and some truth. And a major, 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 major change. A transition of some sort. We got that abandonment card the last time for him. Leaving behind something that was unfinished. Now we got the disappointment right behind it. Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords. Even if you don't know what it means, it doesn't look good. When you have 10 swords in your back, in this card, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 swords are in his back and one is in his hand. This is the king, also has a crown on. I'm not saying April is the month he is dethroned. That they start to put the swords in the back of his presidency. But I'm not saying that either. Quick motion and moving forward. It's 2 weeks away. April. The start of April. There is a plan of some sort that he is working on. Robert Mueller is still in his sphere. There is a proposal and an offer to you. You don't really care for it. It is an uphill battle for the month of May. You're waiting on your harvest, something that you have planted, some sort of seed, some sort of idea, some sort of investment. You are waiting on that. It is a bit wishful. It is what you desire. So this is a desired outcome. It is indeed coming to you. In your fear is Robert Mueller, an investigator of some sort, person of action. In your hopes is that the government will save you. From what? In your environment is the happy family. So the Republicans are behind you. There is a turning of the wheel. So they're behind you, and it is a sign of good luck. Because you can resign, but you will not be impeached. Because Mitch McConnell won't allow such a thing. So they're behind you. That's your good luck charm. Your turtle's neck. And now you have the word of warning. Big news. That very thing you were waiting for is on the way, but it is not a good thing for you. It just seems like it is. Your word of solace, the word of comfort that you can hold on to is, like I said, the people are behind you. You will be able to balance in the midst of chaos. Your outcome card is a plan of action, is now off the ground. This thing involving the harvest. Money news is coming to you as well. Something about money that's coming to you. Something about an investment probably. But it is news and it is coming your way. Now, Money is coming to you. It is not necessarily clear on what to do with it because there's eyes on it. But it is yours. There is some offers on what you need to do with it. I don't know if they're offers in earnest or they're just, SNL skits, but whatever. There's some offers to it. Again, offers you don't necessarily care for, but offers nonetheless. There's some captivity, some powerlessness around that, though. As in, Mr. President, did you know that you can't actually do that? There is a plan of action around the White House. It does require some balance. And like I said, you will be able to balance in the midst of chaos because they are behind you. This card is not just a justice card, but it's also a card of balance, as in the balance of the scales of justice around money. So you may be able, just not a compromise card, but you may be able to balance some things out personally. This could be not necessarily like your wall money, but this could be like corporate PAC money. There is some leaving something behind. It is unfinished. There is some sorrow around that. Some sorrow and disappointment. It is some illumination around the family wealth. So I think when that Queen of Swords popped out earlier, she is investigating your family money. There is some clarity in a major change that follows it. A doom, an end to something, and then a swift movement from that. So when this ends, it ends. There is no linger. Because some things could end and then slowly transition. Because that's what death is like death is an ending to something. Like, yes, like when you are alive and you die, you die. But they will tell you your brain is still functioning. Your heart may still be beating. Just because your brain dead doesn't mean your heart stopped. Just because your heart stopped doesn't mean your brain dead. So all of those things eventually will stop altogether because they're sort of they're connected. So your brain will eventually run out of oxygen because your heart is no longer pumping. And so then you would become brain dead. So things do sort of take a natural transition to stopping when you are dead. So everything doesn't just stop at once. However, when you get the Death card and then the 8 of Wands and then you get the 10 of Swords, that means it stopped and it moved on fast. It's sort of like taking water and doing this instead of like pouring it out, slowly. There's no leak on this. Instead of like pouring something out slowly, you just took it and just dumped. So there's no leakage. It's just done. Done and it moved on. So there is the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is, like I said, sometimes it's just a source of reliability because you relied on something, thus your plan of action. Here's your whatever it is that you plan on doing, but you will have to stop. Whatever it is you're doing now to do this. There might be some victory around that, or at the very least some clarity. Some clarity as to why you have to stop all things or why you just have to stop the old things. Whichever, there's the clarity. There is a stalemate and an indecision around your job. This is not necessarily your job because this is not the 8 of Pentacles, but around the White House, around the functioning of the White House. some stalemate and indecision because there's some deep disappointment around what's going on. This is possibly sorrow, a loss of something, a gaining of something else. So let's take the complete pessimistic road and say you lost the presidency, but you still have a vice president. So there is a loss to something. I'm not saying it's that. There is a loss to something because you have disappointment and stalemate around the White House. Like, we don't know what to do. There's some disappointment. And that disappointment leads to a gigantic change. Now, I say the word gigantic because death is a gigantic change to something. There are other change cards, like, for instance, the Wheel of Fortune is change, the World is change, the Knight of Wands is change, but those are change. Like I think I used the example from where you go from Oklahoma to New York. That's a change. If you went from Oklahoma to Venus, that is a major change. This is a major change. Around the money, the offers of money and the money's ideas, whatever you started with money, your businesses, your hotels, and mind you, you really didn't start it, you just inherited and you kept going. But whatever your money is in, whatever you have invested in, the courts are looking at. Just so you know, there will be some shedding and some illumination, and that will lead to some loss. So I think if something is uncovered, which the sun can uncover anything, shadows cannot exist where the sun shines. It will lead to loss and a defeat. More of a defeat because in this card, like I said, one of the swords is in his hand. Like, he's prepared for battle because they're behind him. So he's in the midst of juggling. He is prepared for battle, but you cannot win this one. Wrong is wrong and right is right. If I figure out what it is you're doing, wrong is wrong and right is right. And finally, there is a captivity. This is the card I use for jail, but you're not going to jail, let's face it. But there is some captivity. Some freezing of the assets, possibly, because it does involve money. It does involve the family money and communications. So April is going to be an illumination month. I don't know if that leads to your resignation. A lot of people feel as though in the metaphysical world, they feel as though that's going to be it for you. When I asked the cards a long time ago, what date would Trump be out? I got April as well. The card said March, mind you, and we're almost to the end of March, but in my mind, it said April. Now again, that could also be wrong because, you know, he could make it to 2020 and they just indict him when he leaves. So he's not going to, all these people who think he's going to be president in 2020, no. But April will be the month of illumination. I said after Michael Cohen's testimony that now is the time you're going to start to see the ball rolling. More things are going to come out, more things are going to be clear. April is the month of illumination.